Alright. It's been long enough. What's up YouTube? My name is Cansturtle, and welcome to Fantendo Roast. I'm back! I didn't mean to be gone, I got lazy. And I got Fire Emblem too, that was a distraction and a half. Not that this matters to anyone watching in the future, but I'm probably gonna try to start making my videos shorter. Or at the very least, I'm not going to worry about pumping up my videos to a certain length. Videos like the Amiibo video kinda wear me down and make me lose my motivation to keep working. But since I've kept you waiting for this long, you guys do deserve something a little special. Something big. A topic feared and despised by many. They say this series is a rite of passage that every YouTube reviewer must face in order to prove themselves worthy. I am, of course, talking about Bubsy. History lesson! Bubsy the Bobcat is one of the most infamous video game characters in the history of anything ever. A mascot of sorts for the video game company Accolade, Bubsy came into the world at a time where kids were still arguing over who was better, Nintendo or Sega. Man, how the times have changed. So Accolade had the brilliant idea of putting Bubsy on both the SNES and the Sega Genesis. That way the Nintendo kids could enjoy Bubsy and the Sega kids could enjoy Bubsy. Everyone could enjoy Bubsy together. Seems like a perfect plan, right? There's only one problem, and that's that no one enjoys Bubsy. His game's played like a mess, and Bubsy himself is an irritating little turd. Watch any review and they'll basically spell out for you that Bubsy going down the drain after Bubsy 3D was the best thing that ever happened to the franchise. I've even tried playing Bubsy 3D myself, and honestly, it made me feel physically sick. I unfortunately don't have that footage anymore because my capture software was dying at the time. So, why am I telling you all this? Well, if you looked at the title, you'd know, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Today, we're taking a look at Bubsy 4. Why does this exist? Who honestly is out there wanting a new Bubsy game? Who's out there with that Bubsy itch that just can't be scratched? Here's the info box. I don't think this person knows how info boxes work. They've got review scores in the age ratings box, which, by the way, those are some very high review scores for a Bubsy game. And in the media section, they've just put Capcom Media, when I'm pretty sure the things that are supposed to be in there are game cartridges and, I don't know, soundtrack CDs or something. Oh, were you expecting me to talk about the developer? Yeah, I'll get to that. But first I want to address the title. Bubsy 4. In the opening paragraph, this guy admits that Bubsy 4 is actually the 5th Bubsy game, due to the often overlooked fractured furry tales coming between Bubsy 2 and Bubsy 3D. And by often overlooked, I mean JonTron didn't cover it in his Bubsy video, so I didn't know about it for quite a while. So if this guy knows there are already 4 Bubsy games, why did he call this one Bubsy 4? I'm guessing he was like, okay, there's Bubsy 2, there's Bubsy 3D, oh, it's got a 3 in it! Fractured Furry Tales must be a spin-off and not canon to the Bubsy series, so I can call this one Bubsy 4. That's not how naming works. Bubsy 3D was not named that way because it was the 3rd main Bubsy game. It was named that way because it was the first 3D Bubsy game. I mean, Super Mario 64 wasn't the 64th Mario game. The only way a title like Bubsy 4 could have worked was if you made it for the PlayStation 4 and tried to make that a joke or something. And even then it'd still be dumb. Plot! This game takes place after Bubsy 3D, when Bubsy builds his rocket, escapes the planet of the Woolies, and goes home. I guess. But the Woolies are still upset that Bubsy killed their queen, because, yeah... So they attack. Again. I guess they did that in one of the other Bubsy games. And so Bubsy has to stop them. I mean, Bubsy was basically a knockoff of Mario and Sonic, and this is like Mario platformer level of storytelling, so I can let this slide. Onto the gameplay. Time for you to justify those review scores, matey. It's a 3D platformer, because that worked out so well the last time. And to defeat the Woolies, you can either jump on them, shoot them with a ray gun or a Nerf gun, or throw a bomb at them. You can also pilot vehicles. Okay. There's also a 2-player mode where player 2 plays as Arnold the Armadillo from the Bubsy cartoon. Yay! And Arnold is limited to CQC. Okay, I know CQC just stands for Close Quarters Combat, but I can't be the only one who thinks of Metal Gear when I hear that, right? It's Metal Gear Bubsy! What would a stealth game be without cardboard boxes? Huh? Okay, getting a little off track here. This seems like a really odd choice. It seems like player 1 has a distinct advantage. They get access to guns and bombs, while the other player is forced to do like dinky little claw swipes or whatever. Having characters with different abilities generally requires some balancing, and in my opinion it works best when you can actually choose which character you want to be. Take Super Mario 3D World for instance. There's 4 playable characters to start off with, so if you have 4 players they're all going to be used, but they all have their own advantages and disadvantages, and each player can actually choose which one they want to be. In Bubsy 4, player 1 is always Bubsy and player 2 is always Arnold. And since Arnold isn't given long-range weapons like Bubsy, what's the advantage of playing as Arnold? He may as well be a co-star loomer or something. Just in case the single player wasn't enough trash for you, there's also a multiplayer mode where you can play as either the Woolies or as Bubsy's friends. Given the lack of information about this mode, I'm going to assume it was ripped straight from Conker and just ignore it. There's also a bunch of other characters from the Bubsy cartoon that I'll go over in the characters section, and Bubsy has a life bar and 9 lives again, after only having 3 in Bubsy 3D, I think. I don't think the problem was the amount of lives though, or how many hits he could take. I think the problem was that the game was terrible and it was impossible not to get hit. The characters, oh boy, we sure do love them. I don't really know much about these characters due to wanting as little to do with the Bubsy series as possible, but I'll pick out bits and pieces that I find interesting here. Like the fact that this guy describes Bubsy as infamous, indicating he's fully aware of Bubsy's terrible representation, but still wants to bring him back anyway. Clearly this guy is the enemy of all humanity. Arnold is apparently voiced by Tim Allen, and this Oblivia chick is voiced by Tara Strong. Okay, I recognize those names, and if I recognize the name of an actor or a voice actor, they're probably a pretty big deal, because I barely know the names of any actors. And if these guys are a pretty big deal, that they should stay away from Bubsy. Don't let Bubsy bring them down. If there's anything I remember from the cartoon, it's a little Bubsy 1 and Bubsy 2, the twins. Why aren't they here? You're fine with Bubsy's obnoxiousness, but not them? Don't want to go all the way? That's basically all I have to say about that. The less time I spend analysing Bubsy characters, the better. Development! Oh boy, this should be interesting. From the tanking of Bubsy 3D and the acquisition of Accolade in 1998 by Atari, Bubsy's legacy died instantly. See, that's where you're wrong. Bubsy's legacy continues to this day thanks to all the YouTubers who talk about how terrible he is. Anyway, in this weird alternate Fantendo universe, Atari put the Bubsy trademark up for sale for $500,000 because, and I quote, "We want no part in this monstrosity." I don't understand. The fact that this page exists at all would make you think that this guy is a die-hard Bubsy fan who wants to see the series back. There's nothing on the page that would make it seem obvious that he's actually joking and this entire page is satire. And yet, he keeps pointing out Bubsy's terrible reputation. I just don't understand. Anyway, it's time for me to get mad because we're talking about the developer now. Of all the people who could possibly buy the rights to Bubsy, it was apparently Capcom. You know, the guys behind massively popular franchises like Mega Man, Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, Ace Attorney. Those guys. They bought the rights to Bubsy with the intent of reviving the character's popularity. Oh, okay, to say you're reviving the character's popularity would imply the character was popular in the first place at some point. And yet you've done nothing but describe Bubsy as infamous and a monstrosity. Capcom would know better than to blow $500,000 on that. They're not stupid, okay? You could have easily made your own fictional company to buy the rights to Bubsy and make Bubsy 4. That's what plenty of Fantendo users do. Heck, I did it myself back when I used Fantendo. But no, you're too good for that. Gotta tarnish the name of a prominent video game company by sticking Bubsy on it. Apparently the game came out in 2011 and was intended to be a summer smash hit, despite, you know, being a Bubsy game. But due to limited advertisement and disconcern for Bubsy, it had little success. There he goes again! This beloved franchise that he wants to bring back from the dead, he keeps pointing out that it's not actually beloved at all. Is this guy being serious or not? I honestly can't tell. Okay, the reception. Now, you already saw the review scores before. IGN gave it a 7 out of 10, and despite apparently being less than endearing, it got a higher score on Metacritic with an 81%. Now, allow me to skip over the mindless praise that talks about things not actually presented in this page, and instead address these two statements that piss me off more than they should. IGN said the gameplay is innovative, and teenagers who apparently thought the first Bubsy game was the only good one, which is incorrect because this is no good Bubsy game, they said that this could easily be the next revolutionary 3D platformer of its time. Innovative, revolutionary. Now, maybe I need to go read a dictionary or something, but to me, innovative implies the game breaks the mold and does things that you don't often see being done in a game. Revolutionary implies that this game would mark the turning point in game development. All future games in this genre would be using the elements first established in this game because it's just that good. Let's take a look at this revolutionary gameplay, shall we? You can jump, you can shoot, you can drive vehicles. You know what that reminds me of? Frickin' Shadow the Hedgehog. It's been done. It's all been done. There is nothing on this page that would suggest this game is doing anything new. None of it is innovative. None of it is revolutionary. Bubsy has never been revolutionary. He's just been riding off the coattails of Mario and Sonic. And he's still doing that in Bubsy 4. Honestly, the highest praise I can give this page is that it's actually finished, and it looks somewhat like an actual wiki page, and it has correct spelling and grammar. But presentation can only get you so far when your content is this little turd. And there's the cherry on top. Because of the positive reception, which includes the little success apparently, Capcom's apparently planning to make another Bubsy game, named Bubsy Takes 5, which I remind you would be the 6th game in the Bubsy series. Thankfully that page doesn't exist. Nothing of this page makes sense. Why would you want Bubsy to come back when you're blatantly aware of how terrible he is? Why would you name the game Bubsy 4 when you're aware that it's actually the 5th Bubsy game? Why would you call the gameplay innovative, but then only list features which have been done plenty of times over in other games? You know what? Screw it. Who needs my opinion, right? I'm just some dumb person on the internet who likes to make fun of wiki pages. Clearly this guy who made the page, clearly he's the one you should be listening to. I just haven't ascended to a point where I can understand his logic. He knows what's up. He knows what we need. Let's bring Bubsy back. Let's have another Bubsy game. There's no way anyone could have a negative reaction to that. After all, what could possibly go wrong?